Hello everyone and welcome to our podcast. We're three chemistry students from the American University of Beirut, Farah,
Ghadi,
and Lea.
and today we're talking about the one lab our doctor promised we'd remember forever, Chem 225 Organic Structure Determination.
And honestly, he was totally right. We remember this lab for the rest of our lives, especially the smell. For me, this lab felt like a puzzle, but puzzles with no pieces, starting everything from scratch. It was kinda challenging, but guys, we love challenges, right?
if you've never taken an organic chemistry lab before, don't worry. We'll walk you through what we did step by step, from our first experiments to identifying mystery compounds to separating crazy mixtures and surviving some very dramatic moments in the lab.
Exactly. This course is like the capstone of organic chemistry at AUB. It takes everything we learned in lectures and throws us into the lab to solve real chemical mystery cases. And the best part, we went through all of this together.
Everyone, ready? Let's now start with the very beginning. Before we leave the unknown, the instructor trained us on some key techniques. We indeed did 3 main experiments.
First, we learned reflux, which was like a chemistry waterfall.
Then we did acid-base extraction.
And then come Fischer acidification with a lot of fruity smells.
And suddenly, the lab smelled like banana, pineapple, wintergreen, and pure happiness.
You know, these first experiments were the tutorial level before the real game started.
And now, with the even unknowns. Then, the serious part began. Each of us received 3 unknowns, 2 solids and 1 liquid. No names, no formulas, no nothing, just bottles. You walk in the lab with bottles that tell you nothing, absolutely nothing. And you are supposed to build a whole chemical story out of thin air.
Our mission? Figure exactly what each compound was, not just the class, the exact identity.
We followed a very systematic strategy, like real chemical detectives. First, we started with a physical examination. Is it a solid or a liquid? What's the color? Does it have an odor?
Then, we measured physical constants. For solids, we recorded the melting point. For liquids, the boiling point. And this already gave us clues about purity and possible identities.
Next came the scary but cool step, the sodium fusion test. We basically heat our organic compound with sodium metal to break it apart. Then we test for elements like nitrogen and halogens.
Remember, guys, the first time I did it, I was honestly terrified. You heat this tiny glass tube with sodium and your sample, then you drop it, still hot, in water. In my head, I was like, please don't explode in my face.
Same, Farah. My heart rate was higher than the boiling point of mercury. To be honest, my first 2 unknowns were kinda smooth. But wait until I share with you the story of struggle with my last unknown.
After elemental analysis, we did solubility tests. We checked if the unknown dissolves in water, in acid, in base. From that, we assigned a solubility class. That tells you if your compound is an acid, a base, a neutral compound, or something special.
Then came the functional group tests. These are specific chemical tests to see if your compound is, for example, an alcohol, aldehyde, carboxylic acid, and so on.
For example, with the Jones test, the solution changes from orange to blue if you have certain types of alcohols. And another example to remember here, with the 2,4-DMP test, you get a yellow or orange precipitate if your compound has a carbonyl group. A lot of bright colors here.
At this point, we had physical data, elemental analysis, solubility classes, and also functional groups.
Then I think we went to the FTIR and HNMR, right? That was our first time using those big instruments. It felt very professional, where IR told us about the bonds and functional groups, as we know, and NMR showed us the hydrogens, how they are arranged.
Farah once tried to put the NMR tube in the machine.
I was so scared, because I remember Dr. Kaafarani told us how expensive and how time-consuming it would be to repair the machine if we broke the tube inside it. So it felt like my whole life was at stake.
I feel you, Farah. But guys, didn't you feel like these spec techniques were kinda helpful? Like, it felt like switching from black and white to full HD, and suddenly you could see inside the molecule.
Right.
After that, we used books and literature, and we made a list of all the possible compounds.
And finally, we prepared the derivatives. We chose derivatives that gave nice solid crystals with sharp melting points. By comparing these melting points with literature, we could confirm the exact identity of each unknown.
Of course, to all of you, till now, at this point, this all sounds very organized, but let's reveal the truth, guys. In reality, a carnival with all the colors, the smells, the laughs, the excitement, and then the frustration and the exhaustion. Guys, and Farah, I still remember when we made this study group in the chemistry lounge
Yeah.
and we're like making maps and schemas to try and solve this chemical puzzle. Do you still remember that?
Of course, I remember.
We do, and we also broke so much glassware, funnels, flasks, beakers, everything. At some point, I think the glassware was more afraid of us than we were of it.
Ghadi, I have to reveal some of my deepest, darkest secrets. I'm sorry, but I honestly used to envy you how everything was going smooth with you. I personally did refluxes like 1,000,000 times, and every time my yield was so bad. And I was stubborn as usual, you know me, guys. I kept repeating and repeating until I finally synthesized my unknown derivative properly.
Oh my God, Lea.
Well, smooth, I don't know. Let's not forget about pyridine. The day someone spilled pyridine, in 1 second, half of the lab was at the door. We all ran out because of the bad smell. If you've ever smelled pyridine, you'd know.
I hate that someone, Ghadi. I'm sorry, guys. I have to kill the vibes here. Coming back to my third compound, the ethyl 4-aminobenzoate. That name will be forever engraved in my mind. From the FTIR, I saw a strong ester peak, so I said, great, I'm smart enough. I started with the ester derivative. I refluxed on and on and on, and then I refluxed again. Then nothing showed up. Zero yield. Silence. It was like the compound was personally mocking me. When I finally asked the instructor, she just looked at me and smiled, saying, Lea, why did you start with the ester, not the amino? And guys, here let's be fair. We all in this lab survived because of our amazing lab instructor, Miss Reham Al-Kurdi.
Yeah.
She followed us like we were still in high school, patient, supportive, and always keeping the challenge alive. She made the lab fun, but still very professional.
Exactly. Thank you, Mrs. Reham, for real. And also a big thank you for Dr. Kaafarani for this amazing lab experience. It was truly the capstone of our organic chemistry journey, as he said, and we really did benefit from it so much.
Yeah.
We'll always cherish these memories for the rest of our lives. And before we move on to the big final boss, the mixture, Lea, we also have to confess something, Ghadi and I.
Mm-hmm.
While everyone else was happily making derivatives, we were not. Our carboxylic acid compound refused to synthesize a derivative like all other compounds.
So instead of the usual cute derivative with a nice melting point, well, we got sent to do titration. Yes, titration. In the middle of an organic lab, it felt like we suddenly teleported back to general chemistry.
Exactly. I used bromothymol blue.
And I used phenolphthalein. It went from colorless to a very cute pink, like a soft reveal.
And at that moment, the entire lab witnessed the most unexpected event. A chemical gender reveal.
Wow.
Farah's solution screamed, "It's a boy!" with all that blue.
And you, Ghadi, also screamed proudly, "It's a girl!" glowing in pink.
At this point, guys, I can say, lucky you. I was expecting a greenish alien. And Farah, don't forget the funniest part of the lab. Farah and I lasted till the last minute. The last two to leave the lab. We're constantly washing our glassware, drying and organizing and so on.
We couldn't leave without everything clean, set in the locker.
Yeah.
And now, let's talk about the mixture, guys.
Okay. And the mixture basically contained a solvent and two unknown compounds.
We distilled off the solvent and measured its boiling point.
And then we separated the unknown like we did in the first part of the lab exactly.
Yeah, At this point, it felt like solving 2 more mystery cases. This time, inside one messy story.
Oh my God, I remember I woke up a few days ago, by the way, and the first thought that came to my mind, I still have few lab sessions and I'm not going to finish.
Relax, Farah. You're now back on track.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was intense. I mean, long hours, strange smells, stress over melting points and IR peaks, and if we got a derivative or not. But honestly, it was one of the best experiences we had at AUB.
Every day we entered this lab with a smile on our faces, even when we were breaking glasswares.
It's part of the organic lab experience, can you tell?
Yes.
And at the beginning, we really didn't know each other. We were just classmates. By the end of the semester, after all the spills, the laughs, the victories, we became real friends on both the academic and the social level.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we also gained confidence. Now, when we see an unknown, we can actually know where to start.
Yeah, and guys, if you're ready and you're listening to this podcast and you love chemistry or you're just curious about organic lab, this is what it really is. Not just reactions, it's problem solving.
So that was our journey in Chem 225 at AUB. From reflux and extractions to unknowns and mixtures to friendship and broken glass.
And once again, I say it out loud this time. We will definitely remember this lab for the rest of our lives. And once again, let's not forget to thank Dr. Kaafarani and Mr. Hamel-Kurdi for this amazing experience.
Thank you for listening. If you ever get the chance to take an organic lab like this, take it. Just don't forget your lab coat, your Bible, aka the Shriner book, and the smile on your face.
Bye!